All right, welcome to Language Learning Milestones. So today we're going to go over different milestones that I think everyone in their language learning journey either eventually hits or should aim to hit. So I'm going to review the 5 different milestones that I think you should aim for, as well as different ways to hit each milestone. So first things first, let's take a look at these 5 milestones. And what I have, number one, if you've seen my other videos, you know how important I think it is. Memorize the top 1,000 words and learn the grammar. All right, I think that's the first thing, first milestone we should all aim for. And then the other 4 are kind of insequential, right? There's no exact order as to when you're going to hit them. So my second one, watch a TV show in your target language and understand what it means. The third one is reach your English reading level in your target language. Your fourth is write a full page in your target level in 1.2 times. It takes you in your native language, NL is native language. So if it takes me, 5 minutes in English to write a full page, and my target language is Spanish, I want to write in 6 minutes in Spanish. That's 1.2 times. Or 10 minutes in English, 12 minutes in Spanish. And then the last one, and this one was super important for me, this one's quite personal, is have a conversation in your target language where the speaker doesn't say, wow, your Spanish was so good for me, right? That used to always just kind of twist my back a little bit when I thought I was having a great conversation and people were like, oh, wow, your Spanish is so good. I thought maybe I could fool them. All right, so these are kind of the baby steps to hit in each one or to kind of arrive to each goal. So for the first one, which is the 1,000 words and understanding grammar, I think you should, first step is memorize 250 words and focus just on the present tense. Second step would be now the next 250 words, so 500 words, and now you're focusing on the past tense. The third is going to be 750 words and the future tense, and the fourth is going to be the last of the 1,000 words and all other tenses. So that's the conditional tense, right? I would go to the park. You would go to the park. That could be the subjunctive if the language you're learning has that, right? Whatever extra tenses are involved in that language, that's when you're going to focus on in the last bit. Now, why 1,000 words? There are different ranges you see online. Some say 60%. I've seen as high as 90% of conversations take place utilizing just the 1,000 most used words. So if we could hone in on those words, that kind of really expands our options as to conversations and reading that we can participate in. All right, so that is the steps to reach this milestone. The next one we have, next milestone we're going for is watching a TV show in your target language, no subtitles, and understanding it. So the steps to do that, I think you start off just watching it in, I put English here, you're native. I assume since I'm speaking in English, you know English as well. So start in English with your target language subtitles. Next, move on to your audio of your target language with English subtitles underneath. That's kind of your second step is you're listening now in your target, English subtitles underneath. Third, you're going to have your target language audio with the target language subtitles. So now you're trying to really understand what they're saying, and you have that extra support of reading underneath. And now a fun little extra bonus that I did, something I really struggled with when I learned Spanish is it's a quick language. All right, I think it's 20% faster than English, they say Spanish is. So what I would sometimes do is I would watch a video at 1.2 speed. And having it sped up kind of forced me to really pay attention to what they were saying. And then when it slowed down to normal levels, it was like, okay, I understand now because I was able to pick it out then. So that's kind of a little extra tip to get yourself next up on that listening goal or a little bit higher on your listening goal. Third, reach your reading level that you're at in your native language, in your target language. This one takes a while. I'm not going to lie to you. And the steps are fairly basic, right? So start with children's books. Move on to upper elementary and middle school, basic chapter books. It's better too if you have in these early stages an understanding of the book. So, Harry Potter is one that a lot of people have read and has been translated to so many languages. I think this is a great option for you in these next steps after you're moving past children's books and you're trying to really develop the language, right? There's enough of them where you can sequentially follow, and it's something a lot of people know already. Next, read a high school book that you know, high school books that you know that you've read before. High school books maybe you haven't read, I think would be the last step. Now, high school, early college is going to be kind of where a lot of us max out. You can go super academic if you want to. I know I didn't have to go that far. I didn't feel like I had to go that far, so I didn't. I kind of stopped right here with high school that I didn't know. But if you want to keep advancing, please do. An important note, when you're starting to read these chapter books, if you see words that are recurring, you should write those down, right? And that's going to help you now. You have them written down, and you can very easily be like, oh, escoba is a broom. I saw that earlier. Instead of having to stop and translate and figure out what it is, right? The recurring words are typically important words, so having them written down improves the chances of A, understanding what's being read, and B, remembering it later on in the future when you're trying to use it. All right, the next step, write a full page in 1.2 times. It takes you in your native language. So again, if it takes you 5 minutes to write a full page in English, 6 minutes would be the goal in your target language. If it takes you 10 minutes in your native language, 12 minutes then becomes your goal in your target language. The steps for this are fairly basic. So when you're learning these verb tenses, write them out in sentences and just, she ran to the house. He ate pizza, right? Basic sentences, that should be your first step. Second step now, once you've gotten all the verb tenses down and you're feeling a little bit more comfortable, combine 2 verb tenses into 1 paragraph. See if you can do it. See where it goes, right? You can do it in your native language. Let's see now in your target language if you can reach there. The next step would be 2 paragraphs. So this is going to be about half a page-ish, maybe a little more than half a page. And you're aiming for 4 verb tenses. So you want 4 different verb tenses that live within those 2 paragraphs. After that, the third step to reaching this goal, you're going to write a full page with no speed restraints. And you're trying to not make any errors. So you're taking your time on this one, right? We are not worried about if it takes us 30 minutes or an hour. Take your time and really think about how you're conjugating, how you're writing the grammar, if it feels like you're writing it and it sounds correctly when you read it. All right, so that extra time really is crucial for your language development when you kind of debate with yourself, ooh, would it be this one or would it be that one? And then you look up which answer is right and which answer is wrong. All right, that debate that happens really kind of solidifies the learning and the work that you've put into that point. All right, so take your time, especially early on when you're doing this, and it'll pay dividends in the future. And then hopefully after this, where you've written the full page out and you make no errors and you feel more comfortable writing, now we can start upping the time a little bit and see if we can get in that 1.2 times time frame. All right, and the last one. And this was, again, so important for me, just not hearing the phrase, wow, your Spanish is so good. I wanted to be understood where people were like, oh, you know Spanish. Let's just not even bring it up in conversation because it doesn't matter. Speak as much as possible is really the biggest key that I have. I have another video posted where if there's no one around who you can talk with, some options that there are to improve your speaking ability, but there is no substitute for speaking. Some great options are intercambios, language exchanges, in English, where you speak for 30 minutes in your target language and 30 minutes in the other person's target language. Tutors also great. You can find some affordable tutors online. And this really just helps you develop confidence. And when you don't have the confidence, pretend like you do, right? You're going to sound like a fool for the first couple months where you're speaking in a new language. It's a new language. You're trying to communicate with someone else at their level. If they can't respect that, forget them then. So these are our 5 different milestones that I'm looking to hit when I'm learning a new language, as well as the steps to kind of hopefully get me to there. Any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to drop them down below. Appreciate you coming out. Have a good rest of your day.